Many workers and students are enjoying the day off today for President's Day. Of course, no breaks here. Banks, post offices, government offices, public schools, and the stock market will all be closed in honor of the holiday. But not everyone has the day off. Grocery stores, retail stores, and restaurants will for the most part, be open. Joining us now for more on why we celebrate President's Day, presidential historian and executive director of the George Washington Presidential Library, Lindsay Chervinsky. All right, so the headline here is presidential historian says President's Day is ridiculous. We should scrap it. What do you mean?
It is a little bit silly. I mean, we have had some real duds, so I'm not sure we really want to be celebrating all presidents. And the tradition actually comes from celebrating birthdays, which is a celebration that we inherited from celebrating the king. And I'm just not sure that that's exactly what we want. I think instead it makes a lot more sense to celebrate actions. Let's celebrate Washington returning his command and ensuring that there wasn't a military dictatorship. Let's celebrate Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, things that they actually had control over as opposed to their birthday.
I think a lot of people were taught in school, okay, it's President's Day, we're just celebrating the fact that we've had all of these various presidents. That's, of course, not the case now, what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we necessarily want to celebrate the people. I think that we want to have a certain respect for the office. I totally get that. And some have done extraordinary things. But by celebrating all of them, I do think it causes us to think of the president as somehow other, when in reality they are a citizen just like everyone else.
So you're saying almost normalize the presidency.
Normalize the presidency and then celebrate extraordinary service. So when someone does something above and beyond, and there have been amazing examples of that, let's celebrate those moments.
What's the outgrowth of normalizing the presidency? Because obviously I've done presidential campaigns now for the last 3 cycles, and I do notice that there is a star power that's required if you're going to win a nomination and then, of course, be elected to the White House. That star power is the catapulting force behind a lot of these candidates. But clearly you're saying that's not what we should be venerating in these officials.
Well, I think it's worth acknowledging really excellent skills. It's worth respecting those things. But I think that if we see them as somehow other, it causes us to believe that we shouldn't criticize, we shouldn't analyze, we shouldn't hold accountable. And there are a lot of conversations now about how much power should the president actually have. And if we're treating them as these objects of veneration, it's a lot harder to say, no, we should actually check that power.
Well, we talked about this earlier in the show, right? And I love when you come on to talk about presidential history, because it's not just history that you're reading in a book. You're regularly tying it to what's happening right now. We mentioned this earlier in the show, the idea that Trump posted something just over the weekend where he quoted Napoleon Bonaparte-esque, saying, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." It feels like exactly the example of what you're saying we should push against.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I think if we think of a president as someone to celebrate just because they exist, which is what the king was, and that's why they celebrated the king's birthday, then it does evolve into that argument that they can do no wrong.
So then your main message here for anyone who, even if they're off, is still tuning in, what would you tell them President's Day in their mind should be reframed as?
Think about the things that are really worth celebrating. Think about the actions and the leadership that we want presidents to embody, and celebrate that instead.
Dr. Lindsay Chervinsky, coming through with the history that is very, very much current. I appreciate you joining us, as always, my friend.
Thank you.